Hey everybody, welcome. This is the very beginning of our YouTube channel. Welcome to Creole Keto Summeron. And for those of you who may not know, the name Summeron came about from my hubby who just we were just kind of talking together, prayed about it, and then he said Cimarron comes from the Hebrew word which means today. So I'm excited about it. If those of you who follow him from Facebook, social media, hello. First of all, most of the time we'll probably be typing at home, but I'm at the church today because I'm working, and as you can see, I'm in my workout clothes. So I just thought, but even before I start off with this, is that I think this is proof that you can, you can incorporate your exercise into every part of your life. I mean, I'm a pastor. I'm a health nut. I have the exercise machine up there for my arms. I'm running for fitting it in my day somehow. And I think that's important with the ketogenic diet. Now, with that being said, let's have some fun. I just thought that the beginning of this video, or the very first one, was kind of set a foundation because a lot of you have inboxed me, text me, and kind of said things like, I want to start the keto diet, but I really don't understand it. And there's some principles about the ketogenic diet that no matter which one you follow, is going to help you. And why I say that, which one? I mean, whether you're doing lazy keto, dirty keto, strict keto, or i.e. clean keto, which is what I recommend because whenever we do things, it's just not about weight loss, but it's about being whole and being healthy. For me, I was looking for something that was going to help me. For those of you who are not familiar with my story, shortly after I gave birth to my precious baby boy, Elisha Charles, I was diagnosed with CHF due to postpartum cardiomyopathy, which is just basically when the heart enlarges after pregnancy and it doesn't really get back to its normal size. And so the ventricles have a hard time pushing that blood out, which, basically gives you CHF. And so, that has been a journey for me. First of all, let me give you a background of who I am. I'm graduated from Xavier chemistry background, chemistry major, biology minor. I went to medical school, 5 years actually of medical school. I don't practice medicine, but I have a very good understanding of biology, physiology, pharmacology, and all of that great jazz. And so I've really taken more holistic approach to life, health, and healing. So for me, this was about healing because after I had the CHF, after I had my son eventually, within a few weeks, maybe 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, I was back to my normal size, 148. Then all of a sudden, something happened. I'm ballooning up. I'm swelling consistently. Couldn't get the water under control. And that's how we basically soon arrived after about the diagnosis of CHF. And I really had to relearn my body. I really had to understand that my body chemistry had totally changed, and what I could do before, it just was not responding to now. And so I found out that really keto was the first thing that my body responded to as far as health wise, as far as getting this fluid out and just like coming back to what is a normal size for me. So, with that being said, for me, keto is life. Keto is a lifestyle. Keto has been a wonderful journey, and I just kind of want to share some of the things that I've learned along the way. For some of you who may not understand what keto is, basically keto is a diet that's going to put you in a state of ketosis. And when you are in a state of ketosis, your body is producing ketones, which are basically polypeptides that are a derivative or produced because gluconeogenesis basically has kind of like slowed down, basically, because what you're doing is basically depriving your body of sugar, and by not intaking it so much. And so your body produces the ketones. What happens is that because you're not producing not taking in so much of the sugar, your body has all of this glucogen, glycogen that's in storage, right? And so what it happens, it wants to take it from that fat cell and use it. And so basically, that's how you get the fat cells to shrink. And at first, it's going to use that sugar, it's going to use that glycogen up, and then it's going to replace it with water. That is why sometimes when we first get into the keto diet, you don't lose weight right away, but you have used and depleted your glycogen storage. And the reason why is because now your body's trying to hold on, it's filling that space with water because it's trying to hold on just to see if you're going to start putting that sugar back in your body, right? And so we have to be careful because it's so tempting to, say, okay, I've done this for a week, I've done this for, a couple of weeks now, let me just go in and have my cheesecake, let me go in and have whatever it is that I'm trying to have. But you want to be very careful about that, right? And the reason why you want to be careful about that is because it takes your body at least 24 to 36 hours. And that's if you know what, you got it going on to get into ketosis. So if you mess that up, what's going to happen is it's going to take you that long to get into it. Then it's going to take you another 2 or 3 days to start burning that fat, right? Because that's the whole point of ketosis. You're trying to use fat as a way of as an energy source to fuel your body. So this is what we want to talk about today. So if you mess up in a week, you're really destroying all of your benefits. But if you're good with it and you stick to it, and you're going to lose it really fast. Now, here's the thing. I want to encourage everybody, and I do mean this sincerely. I want to encourage everybody, to start somewhere. I do clean keto. I'm not into dirty keto so much, but you know what? If it takes that to transition you into a place of doing better for yourself, then I really encourage you to do that, because you know what? Every step in the right direction is a step that you were closer to your goals than you were yesterday. And so sometimes we just beat ourselves up so much because, like, it's hard if you're going from 500 carbs a day down to 20 carbs a day, and now you're taking away all your soft drinks, your bread, your pasta, your mac and cheese, and everything else that we so love, that we've adapted to in American culture. So, a step in the right direction is what's the saying that says the journey of 1,000 miles still begins with one step? It's true, y'all. So as long as you're stepping in the right direction, feel good about yourself, because you're making changes. And I think that as you continue on in the journey with keto, you're going to want to do more, because you're going to see how fast and how great the results are, and it's going to be a real source of encouragement that to do more. Now, y'all, I'm not used to all messages are visible. Okay, y'all talk to me. If y'all say something, if y'all can see me. I see that we have 4 people on the line. I have never gone on YouTube live before, so this is a bit different. I might not be doing something right where I can't see the messages. I'm not sure. So I know one person that's listening is my hubby. Hey, babe. Hey, Kayla. I can see your message. Okay, I'm feeling like a winner now. Hey. All right. So this is some things, this video isn't going to be super long. This is just some things that I've learned along the way that I kind of want to share, because I think in order to be successful in anything, you've got to have a good foundation. Bridget! It is a major change in our Southern cooking, but guess what? That's why we starting Creole Keto, right? So listen, Creole, Cajun, Louisiana, this your girl. We gonna do the thing. We gonna do the thing, because we like our food season. We like to have taste. We gonna do the thing, right? We just not doing the thing today, but we're definitely gonna do the thing. We're just going to start off so we understand what it is that we're doing, right? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people fail. They start off real strong. They start off really enthusiastically. And then, it kind of goes by the wayside. They're like, oh, I'm frustrated. It's not working. And it's not that it's not working. Sometimes we just have kind of missed the concept. And so we're not working the program right. Because if you do it, it's going to work. Right? It's going to work. I promise you. First of all, let's understand that what keto is. Keto is a high fat, moderate protein, low carb diet. And sometimes we forget about the high fat. The high fat is absolutely important that you get in your healthy fats, whether you're getting them in from salmon. I believe, even when you're choosing your meats, if you can, if it's in your budget, you want to go for grass-fed beef. You want to go for your salmon and things like that caught in the wild more than things that are just grew in the ponds and stuff like that. You want to kind of avoid your tilapias, but listen, everybody has to do what's affordable for their budget, and organic as much as possible. So with that being said, these are some things that I love. Now for my Creole Cajun country, you want to cook in an oil that's good, right? You want to cook in something that's good. Let me tell you, I think sometimes we've been sold on the hype. Can y'all see this? I'm gonna bring it a little closer. Now this all really isn't all that expensive. I get it from Target, i.e. Target, and it's olive oil, but it has cayenne pepper. And matter of fact, I think there's a whole line of them, about 8. Can't see the label. This is Spectrum Culinary. Let me read it to you. Organic olive pepper olive oil. Let me see. Maybe if I do it this way. Hey, y'all got it? Bam. Bam. Look at that girl. She's getting better. She's getting better. So with that being said, she's like, I can see it now. Why don't, why, we tend to think because we say vegetable oil, it's vegetables, they must be healthy, right? It's vegetable oil. And it's actually one of the worst type of oils that you can actually put in your body. If it helps me to lose weight, I am. Girl, it will help you lose weight, baby. Miss Davis, it will help you, or Dr. Davis, it will help you lose weight, I promise you. And so, because of the process that it goes through, right? All the refinery process and all of that, it really makes it unhealthy, and you're taking all of the bad fats in. So, there's a whole, right, it's usually soybean oil, exactly. And it's the worst type of oil. Canola oil, all of that stuff is bad types of oil. So, y'all, I really think, Lord, I hope waiter is not calling me. I ordered some food, and Jesus, I think I might have to stop my life for a second. Y'all have mercy on my soul. Oh, they already called. If they call back. Oh, Jesus. I don't know what I did, y'all, but I don't think they were supposed to be. Well, anyways, are you laughing at me? Take the live with you. I guess I'm going to have to. I'm going to see. Lord. So, all of those oils are bad. I have a few oils that I love to use, but that one by far is my favorite. I even like some of the sriracha oils and stuff like that. Mainly because a lot of times we don't think of eating fat as a good thing. So when you say you have to get your fat in, people are like, oh my God, I'm not going to eat the fat and lose weight, but you will lose weight because you're trying to turn your body into a machine that basically uses fat as a resource. I don't see him. So, this has been interesting. I'll never do this part again. So that's one of the things. And then sometimes people are not losing weight because they're eating too much protein. So sometimes you can really just be eating too much meat, and that'll hinder your progress as well. And of course, try to keep your carbs at about 20 grams or less a day. That's the kicker. You really want to keep it under 20. If you want to lose weight, keep it under 20. It's going to happen. Let me show you something. Okay. So, other things that I have. Now, you can invest. I love Bulletproof coffee. This is what I get from Starbucks every morning. It's like my little treat to myself. It's an iced triple blind espresso, 4 pumps of sugar-free vanilla, 3 stevias, and heavy cream. Why the heavy cream? Because it's good fat, right? And so the good fat is going to work for you. Yes, it does work, Bridget. And then I add MCT oil to it. Now, mind you, you can invest into an expensive MCT oil. Right now, this is what I use: $9.99, $10 at your local Walmart. put a few drops in there. I usually ask them for a dome lid instead of a flat lid, so I can put a few drops in there, a teaspoon, basically, or a tablespoon. You get your fat in there. Basically, some people refer to this as a bulletproof coffee or something of that sort. And basically, it's just a way of fueling your body. You can combine this with intermittent fasting and MCT is basically all your good fats that are derived. It's basically your triglyceride chains that are derived from basically coconut oil, basically. So basically, coconut oil has two types of chains on it. And MCTs, which is basically like your C8s and your C6s, and then another chain. I can't recall the other one off the bat, but it's taking basically the best chain of your high fats, and then it's just deriving that from the coconut oil and putting it in there. So if you want to do coconut oil itself, some people use butter or whatever, but basically I use the MCT, which is, you're going to get the best. My problem with coconut oil is that it tastes like coconut oil. So that's another thing. If you want to cook with coconut oil, that's also a great alternative if you like the taste of coconut. I personally cannot do the coconut oil. So, because, most of the time, if you get a coconut oil that doesn't taste like coconut oil, it's not a good grade. And if it's not a good grade, you're wasting your time. So, yeah, I can't stand it. So, this is one way that I get it in. Also, what else can we talk about? And you've got to approach it. Now, I honestly tell you what. Now, some people say that when they start keto, that they have what the keto flu is, which basically is like chills, headaches, and all of that great stuff. I was blessed. I never experienced it. So I don't know. I never went through it, but some people say that it does. But most people that I know that go through the keto flu, it usually doesn't last more than a week or so. So if you do experience that, just hold on. It's going to pass by. It's just going to last about a week or so. Some people adjust to it a little bit differently. Also, let me tell you something. What's great about keto? When you lose weight versus someone who may be losing weight in an alternative form, the difference is your 2 pounds are not going to look like their 2 pounds. Or their 2 pounds are not going to look like yours. A lot of times when you're doing keto, your 2 pounds are going to look like 5 pounds or 6 pounds. It's always going to look like more. Why? Because you're directly burning fat. So it's going to give you a more toned appearance. And it's crazy because you literally see people who take side-by-side pictures who literally lost 2 pounds, and you're like, that had to be way more than 2 pounds. But it really is just 2 pounds. And the reason why is because it's targeting fat. Because if you're using fat as an energy source, that means that, you know what, I'm not wasting muscle. I'm not just losing water weight, but I'm actually toning up. And so sometimes you're going to be building muscle at the same time. So that's one thing about it. The other thing, let me see, the mental clarity, as I saw Bridget going, is amazing. I mean, I just feel like I could do anything. The running and all of that, the fluid started leaving my body. My body stopped retaining that fluid. Now, once in a while, honestly, I may have a flare up, maybe, every few weeks or so, but it is not an everyday thing. And there are so many people talking about who have different various chronic conditions that doing that either eradicates the condition or makes it, so much better. For those of you who may be having type 2 diabetes, it's such a wonderful thing, because if you have type 2 diabetes, basically that's because of insulin resistance, right? Well, guess what? If you take down the sugar and you eliminate the glucose from the diet, you're not going to you're going to decrease that insulin resistance, because what's happening is your body is constantly producing more and more insulin. It's not that you don't have it, but the receptors are blocked and they can't fill in that space, and so producing more and more of it is doing more harm to your system, because it's not that you need more, you just need your body to respond to it. So what's going to happen with this is that your body is going to start to respond to insulin, right? And what you're going to notice what happens, you probably won't even need your medication anymore. Because what usually happens in our American system, they just keep increasing your dose of insulin. The patient continues to gain weight, constant weight, even though they may not have changed their eating habits, they're not eating more, but they're consistently gaining weight because of insulin resistance. And eventually they end up losing limbs, their life is shut off, pass away from all kinds of other side effects. So this, beloveds, is a way to do some great stuff. I think I kind of mentioned the intermittent fasting, and the intermittent fasting is basically, best way I can explain it, what makes it easier, you can do it any way that you want. But the average person, well, not me, but the average person may sleep about 8 hours. So if you sleep 8 hours, you say, okay, I'm not going to eat, let's say hypothetically, beyond 7 p.m. I'm not going to eat from 7 p.m. From 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., that's already 12 hours, right? So for 12 hours, your body has already done a natural fast because you're sleeping. And then you add another 4 hours to that, 16 hours. So that puts you at 12 o'clock, right? I'm sorry, actually 11 o'clock, puts you at 11 o'clock. So what happens then is that you've already done a 16-hour fast. That will help you get into keto a lot faster and keep you there. And if you can work out while you're in a fasted state, again, the deeper you go into ketosis, the better off you are. Now, for all testing purposes, you can test your blood and all of that other stuff to see if you're in ketosis. If you don't really have a problem with glucose, all of that, I really don't suggest that. You really don't have to be that extreme and putting yourself through that. You can simply get these little strips and that'll do. And guess what? There's like 100 strips. I don't remember how much this cost, but it was real cheap. I remember that. Get your urine test strips and you can work it from there. And then also, if you've been doing ketosis you've been in a state of keto for a long time, these after a while may not work. It's not that you're no longer in keto. It's just, your ketones are kind of like basically leveled off. So it's not going to always reflect on these. Then you would need like a blood test or something a little bit more invasive to do that. But again, if you're seeing the results, obviously you already know. So listen, it's been 21 minutes. It's time for me to go ahead and wrap it up. This was our first thing. Anybody got any questions real quick? About this, and then we'll start some fun stuff on the next video. Eat your eggs, eat your proteins, eat your seafood, all of that great stuff. You can have all your crawfish. Should I do unholy keto? Yes, you can do unholy keto. That unholy keto, i.e. dirty keto, you know what? It's a step in the right direction. And any step in the right direction, hey, let's move forward. So, because basically, let me tell you something. You lose fat, and if it's targeting, and let me tell you, the worst type of fat that we have in the body is, I had to post, a lot of people say, I want to lose it here in the stomach, or I want to lose it. Everybody has all these target areas. But a lot of times I hear people on keto say, hey, that the first place that they lost weight is in their stomach. And guess what? That is such a great thing, because most chronic diseases start are related or have some type of clinical correlation to adipose in the abdominal area. So that's another thing. All plus, all plus. Any other questions? All right. This has been your live chat from Creole Keto Summer. I've enjoyed you guys. Thank you, Dr. K. Thank you, Bridget. Oh, you guys make my heart glad. Love you guys. Mwah.